Well, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Cruising with Jake. I'm Jake. That's Smoke. Today's a very exciting day. For one, I'm shooting on a new. I finally got a new phone, and hopefully the camera's a lot better. It's supposed to be able to shoot up into 8K and ultra high def and everything. So hopefully it looks better on your end. But today we're taking Smoke down to Andrade's Performance. We're getting the flex fuel sensor hooked up so I can be able to drive them a little bit more and get a little further out of the city without worrying about having to carry extra fuel or anything like that. So let's head on down to Andrade's. Hopefully I can do some filming in there. I like to respect their shop. If they don't want the filming done inside the shop, I'm not going to film in there. But I will try to get as much footage as I can of us getting this flex fuel sensor hooked up. Well, let's go get some 91. That's all we have here in Oklahoma, unless you go to special fuel stations where they have race gas, but what's readily available is 91. So let's go get some 91 here, I'll show you. Go get some 91 in the fuel jugs here, because I am very low on fuel. So let's go get him switched over. Well, guys, I just got almost 16.2 gallons of 91. This is the downside of going back to 91 or being able to put 91 in. $51 and 16 gallons. And I have a 20-gallon fuel cell. I usually can fill this truck up for less than 40 bucks. So that's the downside, but I will be able to get better fuel mileage and I will be able to fill him up wherever we go. So let's head on down to Andrade's, get this flex fuel sensor hooked up, and we'll be able to go cruising. All right, well, we've made it down here at Andrade's. I'm going to go in here, get checked in, and see what we can get done. Got the fuel back there. I texted my accountant, aka my wife, how much that was, and she just replied back, yuck. But you know, if you haven't seen the Gone Cruis'n video that we took a trip up to Stillwater on E85 and we calculated the fuel mileage, Smoke got 9.7, basically 9 3/4 miles to the gallon. So it'll be fun once we get the 91 in there to do another video and calculate, see what kind of fuel mileage he gets. Should get about 30% better fuel mileage on 91. So we'll find out, but let's get in here and get checked in. Well, guys, we're in the shop here. We got Smoke up on the lift. John's finishing up working on another vehicle. We'll get him lifted up. Most people don't get to come out in the shop. If my hoodie wasn't on, I'm an honorary employee today, I guess. I've got the Andrade Performance shirt on. He's like I said, he's a buddy of mine, so get a little bit special privilege. But so we're going to get Smoke up in the air in a minute. This will be the first time you guys get to see underneath the truck. Don't judge. He is kind of a race truck. There is leaks, but I'll show you the underside whenever we get him up in the air and try to document some of getting this put together. Stick around. All right, guys, we got Smoke up in the air. I'm going to flip this camera around, kind of give y'all a peek underneath. Nothing really special, quite dirty, but I do daily driving, and he does have a couple oil leaks, but let's check it out. All right, got him up on the lift here. There's the front of the engine from underneath. Get underneath this lift here. Back to the So I've got, get back here, quick performance 9-inch, love it. So all the way back. So just so y'all know, dual 3-inch exhaust, turbo 400, got a little bit of a training leak there. Got a little bit of an oil leak back here, but I've been fighting this. I've looked and looked and looked. I cannot figure out where it's coming from without pulling the engine and everything back out, which we might do, but with them being my daily. But Got true duals out the back. To the MagnaFlows, just dumped out right before the rear axle here. Get a good look at back here. Y'all can see I did use the factory metal brake line, which we need to redo here soon. But rear rotors look good and everything. But right here's where we're working. This is the flex fuel sensor on the truck. Got the Deechworks fuel sensor mount, flex fuel sensor mount running there. There's one of my fuel filters right there. And if we come, and then I've ran all my fuel line in through the, except for my return, is all ran through the frame rail. We got that 650 inline brushless pump from Deechworks right there. We got another fuel filter there going up into the fuel cell. So again, I'm going to try to document as much of this as possible. I'm not going to invade their space. If you can tell, I'm trying not to film much of the inside of their shop, just out of respect for the other customers' cars that are in here and everything. But we're going to get this flex fuel sensor hooked up, and we'll be able to do some more cruising. I'll be back. Well, guys, as you see, John's back here working on smoke. He's worked pretty quick. He got the new harness made for that flex fuel sensor done and in the truck before you could even think about it. But he's getting everything put in there. We'll check back in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm going to show you what we've got going on so far. All right, so he made up the new harness, which is, let me get here, right here. He's ran it up my frame rail and into the firewall there. We got it going in through the firewall and heading into the Terminator ECU. Show you where we're at here. It might be a little dark in there, but get a little bit of light on the situation. But ran in through with all my Holley stuff. It's going to go up, follow these two lines here, and then the wife's Kleenex is in the glove box, but going to go and pin into the back of the ECU. So I really appreciate John and Andrade's Performance down here in Yukon, Oklahoma for taking care of this. We're going to get it all hooked up and check back in whenever we start firing them up and getting the tune set. Well, guys, I'm out driving smoke around right now. John got the flex fuel sensor hooked up. Got it over here. I'm out driving him, letting everything kind of work out. I want to take it back to him in a little bit and let him kind of go over the tune, make sure everything's good on it. But he's driving and running and driving great. So we got the capability of going from E85 to 91 anytime and let the Holley just do the correction for it. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm about to make a turnaround. We've got it warmed up. Everything's mixing up. All the gauges look good over there. So I'm going to turn around up here in just a minute. Go back to Andrade's Performance. We're going to wrap things up there. I'll be back. Initial drive, went back, John checked it out, set it up on the learning table, and he's got me out here basically making laps on 66, and every so often I have to reach over here, click the transfer, then hit enter, and it basically is telling it how to learn, how to read the fuel, air to fuel ratio and everything. So I've already made about 3 laps down 66, about 5 miles each. So I've got about 15 miles on him doing this. smoke's running great. I'm excited to be switched over to on the flex fuel, so I can be able to run E85 or 91, so we can go cruising more. And truck's running nice and smooth, handling it really well. So I'm gonna head back to John's shop, have him take one more look at the tune, make sure everything's looking good, and then hopefully wrap this thing up. It's about lunchtime now, and I'm getting hungry. So let me get back to John's shop, over to Andrade's Performance. Huge thank you to John and Andrade's Performance for helping me out with this. Like I've said in videos before, if you haven't seen them, go watch all my videos. I'd appreciate it. I am very mechanical, I'm not electrical. And this is actually John's first flex fuel sensor to hook up. And after he was done, he was like, huh, that was easy. So I guess if you're a wiring guy, that stuff's easy. But for somebody like me, it doesn't make sense in my brain. So thank you to John. Thank you to Andrade's Performance. Again, if you haven't seen those videos before, if y'all need any kind of work done on your late model to classic, and anything and everything in between, your daily driver and all that, hit up Andrade's Performance and get on their schedule. Great guys, they do great work. I wouldn't let them touch smoke if he didn't. So I'll be right back. We'll wrap things up there at Andrade's, and we'll finish this thing up then. Be right back. Well, guys, we just wrapped up putting the flex fuel sensor on smoke here. How was it hooking up?
Not too bad. It was actually pretty straight cut. First time doing it, but Holley makes everything a little bit easier. So
Holley's great. I tell people all the time, don't mess with the HP stuff. Go with the Holley Terminator. It's the way to go. Well, John, I appreciate you. I really do. You know, I've told you guys in videos before, and if you haven't seen those videos, make sure you go back and check those out. But if y'all need anything done on your classics to late models and anything in between, hit these guys up. They do great work. Like I said earlier in the video, I wouldn't let them touch my truck if they didn't do good work. So thank you again, John.
no problem, man.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, tag, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And remember, don't worry about it and keep on cruising.